Civic leadership is a term that's used that can engage people at a very core level. Any issue needs a range of leadership in order to move it to some sort of solution or action. Civic leadership is a way of using the foundation as a permanent, long-term institution, a partner in the community, working every day in the community, engaging with both nonprofit, public, and private leaders.
There were areas that were initiated by the foundation that were on the cutting edge. The Diversity Committee. A great woman who's been on the board of GPCF Area Salufo came up with this idea of bringing the African American community and the white community together, and we met at New Hope Baptist Church, and we talked about what the needs were, wanted to bring people together. And as a result of our meetings, Valerie Cunningham, who was at the University of New Hampshire and a researcher in Black history, wrote a book, and through her efforts and her research, there is throughout downtown Portsmouth a Black Heritage Trail. Valerie Cunningham has just been honored nationally in Washington. She's received a National Preservation Award.
I think that we as citizens, and I think we as an organization, have a responsibility to really try to maximize the work that we're doing when we see opportunities where making some changes or help advocating for changes in Concord or at the legislature or even on a local municipal level. Do we run the risk of maybe upsetting someone who has a different or opposing viewpoint? Possibly, but that's what leadership is all about. We've taken sides, if you will, on issues that at the time were very controversial, but now in hindsight are both less controversial and clearly the right decisions to make.
We had a couple who were donors. They established a fund for youth because they were very concerned about gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered youth. Nora and John Tuthill established an endowment with us to supply information and conferences for high schools and libraries in the region. And they got us going down the path of trying to foster greater understanding in the community for kids who are lesbian, gay, or questioning.
One of the things that I've been really proud to be a part of the Charitable Foundation is there is this growing body of national recognition and even international recognition on the work that the foundation is doing. Civic leadership, it's really an effort to try to leverage a lot of the other work that we do. A great example is the work that we did in the transportation planning, which was really a classic civic leadership project, just bringing people together to understand those issues. So there was a lot of talk about, really trying to figure out public transportation options, particularly in rural areas. There was a lot of talk about how do we do transportation with an aging population. A number of years ago, we really elected affordable housing as sort of a statewide initiative where we're working across all regions. And a big part of that work was really bringing those agencies together, all those different players out there that are working on that issue, to try to get them to look at priorities, to try to get them to look at ways that they can work together, to try to get them to apply best practices.
The foundation has been involved over the last 20 years in a series of projects that continually build on the commitment to the arts and a creative economy. In some of the early days, we received some matching grants from national foundations to really build a public awareness and public involvement in some community arts projects. That led into a collaboration with the mayor and the city manager to create a Blue Ribbon Arts Commission in Portsmouth itself, kind of a center of the region. And out of that came a current organization called Art Speak. In parallel to that, we developed an artist advancement grant program which was a way to bring attention to working artists, as well as identify those artists who are really at an important trajectory in their own working career as artists. Out of that grant program came an increased public awareness in the importance of working artists in a vital community.